grab trim tools that come in the kit. I'll pop in the bottom here, start from the bottom, work your way around the side, and this will pop out like so. Just wiggle it and be gentle with it. There's plastic, it will eventually come out. It's a little plug here that you need to unplug, and that whole piece comes out like so. Just do the same on the other side here. Start from the bottom, I'll wiggle it a bit and it'll come out. Again, same plug to pull off. So that's your 2 side pieces undone. Now you can see in here you got 1, 2, and then same on the other side here, 3, 4 screws to come out, and then this whole lot's going to pull out. So all those will come out like now. They're just like Phillips screws, and now you just give it a few tugs on here and you'll find the whole bit comes off like this. Now what you want to do is you want to go on behind and take out all the plugs here. So there's a few plugs to unplug, so we'll unplug them all and then we'll show you what we've unplugged. So we've unplugged everything there, so everything's pretty straightforward. It's like everything will have a tab on top of it. See that little tab that you have to push down. If you find it a bit hard to get the tab out, just use the trim tool and push down on that tab. So you can see all the ones we've pulled out here, and also on the climate control down the bottom. So that's everything removed. So in the kit you're going to get the head unit with the fascia, plugs in the back here. That's our main plug, a GPS plug, a Wi-Fi plug, and we call these auxiliary plugs. If you have let's say X series, if you have like an M series, the only difference is going to be a couple of different plugs in here for the GPS and like the Wi-Fi. Everything else is basically the same. Trim tools to help pop the dash off. Plug and play the harness kit. This is for the Sahara, so there's a bit going on here, but we'll show it in the video. If you have the non-Sahara version, it'll be a bit more simple. Reverse camera 1080p, for OBD to scan tool. Now 100 series, these will only work on a 2006 plus if it's a petrol, or if it's like a diesel 2007 plus, so you're right on the edge of the range there. This is like a rocker panel switch, so this gives you external a tidy place to have your USB and whatnot. This is a little SPL connector that helps hook in the camera easily for easy wire connections. We've got a GPS antenna, a Wi-Fi antenna, a third USB port, like an extra USB port, a USB for doing updates, our plug that has our 2 USBs in it, an external mic port, but don't worry about that for now, we don't use it at the moment anymore. Our camera input cable, which you can put your reverse camera in here, and if you're running like a second camera you can put it into here. Then you have these 2 cables here, which you're probably not going to like, so I use, this is auxiliary in, the brown plug, and your pre-outs here. So you're only going to use these pre-outs if you're going to run an aftermarket sub for whatnot. And you get a handy little manual here that talks about the UI and the interface. So that's about everything in the kit. So the first thing we do is just go and grab the harness. So that big harness had all the things on them. If you have the standard 100 series, we'll have a few less, and basically match it up to the plugs on the car side. So you can see from the head unit we still didn't plug in these 2 plugs. Now you might be missing a few, that's okay. Just match up what you have, plug them all in, and then turn the car on, which we did before, and we just check, obviously, the head unit powers up, and if you put the radio thing in, just check that you have a sound coming through and can pick up radio. That's all we really need to check on here, because we've got no steering wheel controls or anything. The Sahara has got a CD stacker underneath it, and it does have a factory amp, so all that's working, which is good. And we just have the one extra wire on here. Before I said in the kit, you probably won't use this cable, but this brown plug actually plugs into here, which is the CD stacker underneath the seat, and that goes into this plug here. So you will have that. Now you can see we have all these other plugs that aren't being used on this model. Your model, you might use them. They can only plug in where they do plug into, but basically that's all these other plugs here. So you can actually just snip these off or hide these plugs, because we're not going to need them.
Okay, so next thing you want to do is with your head unit, you want to obviously take off all your AC controls and your trip computer and whatnot. So what you do is grab your ratchet or your screwdriver. You got these bolts here, which will take off your bottom bracket there for your climate controls, and they're on both sides. And then also you're going to take those off, obviously take the original unit out. Okay, so you see I've got the head unit and the old trip bit out. So what we want to do is there's 2 little pins here to remove the plastic fascia. Those in and then remove that. Alright guys, so here you can see I bolted it back up. See the brackets there, and keep in mind that that's the original unit, and we had the 4 bolts on each side. These are obviously smaller, so you only got 2 screws that go back into the top there. That's how the bracket looks so far, and that's how it's going to look. Cheers guys. Just be wary guys, there is also 1 screw that goes in down there. I completely forgot about that one.
So this is our rocker panel switch. That's the next thing I'm going to do. After we test, we've got power here. We'll put in this rocker panel switch. So basically here the blanks sit in here. You can just use our trim tool, get in each side or one side, and you can pop out the blank. Then once the blank's in, you need to feed these 2 cables down. Now one of them is going to plug into one of the USBs coming from our head unit, which will give you a USB flush port here on the audio one. one. And the other one we need to hook to power. These don't fit the 100 series plugs. They're slightly like different. Like on some Toyotas will fit the back of the cigarette plug and it gives you like a piggyback power. But on this 100 series they're a bit different. So what we'll do is we'll actually chop this off and we'll hook this into our head unit ACC and ground. But that's basically like feed them under there. So you did need to unscrew that screw just in there, just so you can pull this off a bit, and then you can just obviously tuck the cable on a piece of like wire or coat hanger and sort of feed it through, and like just use your hand under here to pull it out a bit, and you better pop it down. And basically it'll just go in like this, and that'll be in. I won't push it all the way in until we've tested it. That's like working, just to make sure the plugs at the back are seated right. Alright guys, so the next thing we can do is get your GPS. So what we're going to do is you want to put it in somewhere where there's no metal there surrounding it, so it doesn't block any signals. So what we're going to do is in here, go tuck up from under here, and then right up the back left here, and there's a bit of plastic, so just going to stick it up there. So what we're going to do is so you're going to remove the sticky pad there, you're going to hold it down for about 30 seconds, and obviously plug it into where it says GPS on your head unit. Alright guys, the next step is your Wi-Fi antenna. So it doesn't really matter where this goes, as long as you know it's out of your way. Plug in the Wi-Fi antenna bit. It's also got a sticky pad on it, so you can stick it elsewhere, you can stick it anywhere you want. Obviously just out of the way of the metal and whatnot, so it doesn't get any signal. Cheers. Alright guys, so it's got everything plugged back in. Just want to make sure to get all these cords pushed back away, tucked away neatly, so you get the head unit back in. It is a bit of a tight squeeze in these Saharas, so yeah, just be careful of that. And yeah, alright guys, so got all that back in. Don't forget your 4 screws down there. Powering up the unit again, just checking it all works. So your aircon, that's just for your dash cam. Oh, your aircon all it works. Just make sure you plug all that back in. You can hear all that's all working. And then let's go put the sides back on, and then we're all done. As you can see, you've got your reverse cam still coming up.